Okay, so it's like 3:45 in the morning. I feel so tired and so out of it. The wherever I'm going during our sleep time, it is I'm going in it deep. Like it feels like I'm in a different place. I don't know, it's weird. But I don't know, it starts messing up with my mind and stuff, all of this shifting and like Elegant Witchery was saying yesterday, I don't know, because I don't know what all the other people are talking about. I just see little snippets on TikTok. And, but if you follow some of these people, like Crystal said that the people who talk about the med beds in the RV all week long, they just keep dragging it. It's going to happen Tuesday for sure. It's going to happen Thursday for sure. It's going to happen Saturday for sure. And that has been going on since for a few years. I just stopped listening to those people because it was like becoming so aggravating. I was like, it starts making you feel like it's not going to happen just because it's like, quit setting these times like this. It's like, it's going to happen. We just don't know when. But to keep hanging on every little thing. And it's like, is this misinformation that's being spread by the dark just to get us to lose hope? Because is it our own projection? I'll be able to talk for a second. Is it our own projection? It was like I lost control of my jawbone. It was like, oh, God. That could be happening. I'm morphing into some other kind of cartoon character. Hold on, I have a cough. And I gotta get another drink. I've got to. These allergies are killing me, man. I'm telling you. But and the moon is in a totally different place today. Totally different place. It is so weird because when I go outside or let the dogs out in the middle of the night, there's a whole garage door open, and I'm at the end of the driveway, so you see this big whole part of the sky, and so I see where the moon is at all different times of the night, and it's in a totally wrong spot. It's like it's starting over again or something. I don't know what the fuck. And a plane went over us yesterday. It was so low and so loud. I just don't. And more of these weird haunting sounds coming out of I don't know. I swear to God, I don't know if it's a dog far away and the sound is traveling and making these most haunting noises, or if there is some new creatures in the forest. It sounds like that there is some wild creatures in the forest or something by the lake. It's not like, because if you were to see it, it's like mountains. The forests aren't as deep. Like when you go over to the west side of the state, over where I was, the forests are real dense. Over here, it's you could go and find some dense ones, but it's not as the same. It's not like moss growing everywhere and things that like it's different. It's more drier. It's piney, and it's just different. So the mountain going up this side, like when I looked out from my house, it was like this totally green mountain with all this stuff. This you can see like there's a mountain. So I don't even know. It seems like the creatures wouldn't be able to be real hidden in it. I mean, it's foresty, but it's also, I don't know, it's like a bunch of trees here, a bunch of trees there, a bunch of trees there. So I don't know. Which yesterday, this is just going off on a little thing, is I saw a girl talking about, so I'd seen somebody already talking about it, then I saw somebody else talking about it, and she was explaining more because so many people are talking about it. Well, I've seen two people talk about it, but it's this other group of a mixed race culture that was up in the Appalachia that everybody comes from, and it's some weird, they named it something like Morgalas or something. It's a weird name that they're named. They're referred to as Marcellas or Margalas or something weird. And so she's this girl who was talking about it, who's from the Appalachia. She said that it is embarrassing. Most people didn't want to be labeled with that, but when, like what I've talked about, when all the settlers and all these different people from all these different places were coming, Appalachia was a huge destination. It was like the first mountains maybe when they came off of the water, but it became more populated, and it's been in the Crown and let's just call them the CCs, the Church and the Crown. It's been in the CCs, craw for this whole time. Like they want control of these people, and these people are more resilient and stuff. They were escaping wars and stuff, and so, but a whole bunch of different people settled up there. And so she said that they all became a big thing of mixed race people. So all these people, as time were going on and they were getting labeled this, people became super humiliated because they were a big mixed race. And back at that time, probably it was a lot more distinction in culture. Like, like Irish they stayed with the Irish, the Scottish stayed with the Scottish, the Jewish stayed with the Jewish, the different ones, you know what I'm saying? And then, I don't know, I think that's where most of them like to be. I think that there's, in the propaganda and the indoctrination is what pushed more. And then, plus the souls falling in love to bring different groups together. But it's a balancing still. Everything is a balancing. So, anyways, she was talking about that all these people, it became really humiliating to be labeled that, but her family was very open, and so she knew the whole time that she's deep in this mixed group of people. And so, anyways, she said, but a lot of people, it was like, they weren't allowed to talk about it. It was something you didn't talk about and stuff. That they got together, these different mixed groups got together, and, a lot of people would look at it as they, would make their lineage dirty by mixing. And so, anyways, but it was a big thing back for a while, and they were all mixing. And so it kind of reminds me, too, of, where people started being, the Cajun people, because they're their own group, too. And they were a mix of the different ones that were there at the time, too. So, and I don't remember, because it seems like, we think of it as being Mexico, but I swear to God, it was, under Dutch control. And so, it's kind of weird, too, because when you think of it on that level, and you think about that time, then it's kind of like, where are these kings, fighting their cousins and shit, and we were just the aftermath, because they were just having fun. I don't know. It's weird. Because they're all, I don't know if they're all the original 13 families or what. But there's something. They were able to get this much control over so many people. So, anyways, I'm going to get another swig of this. Is my third cup. It tasted so good. It was magnificent. So I had to have another. Usually I have another after. Oh, and I'm so sore. I did the whole driveway again yesterday. I did the whole fucking thing. And I would say it's probably about the size of 3 driveways. But then if you live in certain parts of the city where you think of a driveway being 1 car length, no, I would say this is maybe 25 car lengths or something for this thing. And it's all uphill, steep uphill. It's very slippery. I completely think if my core was weak, I would have fallen so many times. Man, when I used to lose my balance, I would fall all the time. So, hold on just a sec. Oh, yeah, back to this weird thing with the night. Because I am being uncomfortable. And I have these weird pains in my ankle and in my toes. I had to cut my toenails last night. It was if my toenails get long, my toes start hurting. I don't know if other people have that, but fuck, man. And then I was out in my shoes all day, so my toes were hurting so bad, so I cut my toenails. And then, and I don't know what I did to my ankle, but it's I think it's got inflammation. And I was thinking, is this the one I broke? Everything I've ever hurt, there's always these fucking repercussions. There's always an after. thing that goes on for years. But I was thinking, this must be the ankle that I broke. Or maybe it's when I, certain things irritate it and get it inflamed, but it's like, it's hard to step down. It hurts. If you turn it the wrong way, it's really painful. And so that made sleeping hard. And, I don't know. It's like, it's weird because I feel like everything is super uncomfortable and super, super loud. And then I'm trying to relax and I'm trying to talk through the noise to relax, relax, relax. It's so fucking noisy. And it's like in my head, the noise. It's like there's a party going on or something. It's like, it's hard to turn it off. And I swear it was when my crown chakra opened is when this party came. But this party has gotten so much. I mean, sometimes it is like intense. It's so fucking loud. And so I was uncomfortable on my own. Stella, she'd already had medicine a couple of times. She's really uncomfortable. And I showed my mom her thing last night, and she's like, oh, I think that is cancer. And I'm like, well, I'm putting the horse paste on the outside. I'm giving her some orally, and I think I'm going to add, there's another one. Because there's doctors all on the rage about this now. And there's another cleanser. I think it's for goats or something. So I'm going to get that one too, and it's supposed to be really helpful. And even if it doesn't kill all the stuff, it gives you twice as much time. Because I guess with the very worst of the worst kind, that they haven't been able to kill them, like the glioblastomas, which I don't know if that's what my brother has, but I don't think so. I think he has just one tumor. It doesn't, the glioblastoma, however, it spiders out, and so it weaves all through their brain and grows real crazy. And so I think his is like a tumor, so it's more isolated. That's why they could take it out before, because those glioblastomas are a lot more difficult. And this doctor's talking about that this is giving those people twice as much time, but they haven't been able to, but it's having great effects on kids that have the CA too. And so anyways, that's the... and they said some of them are even doing it with doing the other treatments, the medical stuff too. But whatever, everybody, there's doctors coming, saying if you've got the CA, you need to be using these things for sure. And so, hold on a second. So anyways, I'm uncomfortable. She's uncomfortable. It's noisy. I'm feeling like the energy. I feel like the ground's vibrating and stuff. And so I'm just like, I'm trying to relax and go to sleep through that. Like the ground's vibrating, like everything sounds so noisy and loud and stuff, which is so weird in that movie that I was watching where the wolf man, and he was morphing. That was the thing that started being like, everything started being so loud. And I fucking, jeez, yeah, things start becoming so loud, and you feel them too. It's weird. And so anyways, I don't know. I was kind of awake, kind of asleep. I don't know what it is, but anyways, I start hearing Max, and he's out here. And so then I start perking my ears up like, oh my gosh, need to go to the bathroom? Is he about to, because they don't, Max and Archie, the only thing they're good at alerting me on is that they want to sit in my lap. They want to be on top of me at all times. If I'm walking, they want to be in between my legs as I'm walking. I could fucking train them to do some shit probably. But, if you watch those videos with the army men and they got their dogs between their legs, and I was like, Archie is on, he's ready. Max would like duck back, like, hell no, I don't want trouble. I don't want trouble. No, trouble doesn't want me. I don't want trouble. And Archie, he's all about it. He's like, I'll kick some ass. He just goes all gremlin. His face changes. It's the weirdest thing. And his... he just goes crazy. Okay, hold on. I'm going to get another drink. Okay, I finished it. So, anyways, he gets up and he's wandering around. And I'm like, so then I start paying attention to what he's doing. And then he comes over to the tent and he sits, he always wants to get in and like lay on my legs. It's like, dude, and my legs are already killing me. And I'm like, no. And I'm always having to push him off. It's like, it makes you feel bad. And you're like doing it the 20th time. It's like, how many times does it take you to catch on? And what is so trippy about this guy is at times I'll feel like, are you so thick? What in the hell is wrong with you? But he is the master of breaking out. And if you remember, I talked about before, his long arms and his long hands and how he uses them like hands. So he watches how I get out and stuff because I'll block them so that they're not running up and down the stairs and stuff all the time. And Stella has started doing it now too. Oh, if they're going to run up and down the stairs, I'm going to go. And these stairs are intense, and it's good exercise for them. It's like, okay, they can run up and down. But when I'm going to go out, I have to block it because they'll, they want to go out with me. And so, and I don't want Stella running up and down the stairs. And so why am I talking about the blocking? Oh, because he's smart, because he'll figure out he will go and he is so dead set on the little yard that I have for them out there of trying to figure out how he can pull it and maneuver it and stuff. And he will go over there and start using his long arm and a long hand, like his long paw, like hands doing shit. So he's super smart. Like, I'm not teaching him that. He just goes and watches and figures out how to do it. The things you try and tell him, he's like, is this a real deal thing? Or is this just a maybe thing? I'm not sure what you're talking about here. I'm pretty good right here. And so he wants to sit in your hand, sit in your chair. He wants to sit on your feet. If he wants to put his big fat butt right on your pillow, he just, whatever it is, you tell him 100 times, and every single time, it's like, God, you don't have to be so mean. It's like, dude, I shouldn't have to say it 100 times. So, anyways, he's up, and now he's in there, and he's sitting on my feet. And oh yeah, what also had caught my attention, because I was hearing, like, I kept thinking he was crying. And so then I'm like, who's crying? Is this a snore? Is this a cry? Like, I was trying to pay attention. So I'm tuning my ears into the sounds, trying to evaluate what they are. And then I heard him click, 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 and walking on the pavement or something. And so then I think I said, Max, what are you doing? And then he came over. He was like, I'll sit on your feet. How's that? And so I'm like, no, stop it. And so then I think he came back out here, and but he kept doing this scratching and crying. And so, like, what in the hell? And so I have to get up and I go look at my phone. It's like 9:30. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. We're fucking a couple hours into the night and that's it. My mom's still up there watching TV. Oh my God. And it's like, oh Lord. I like it so much better. Like, when I would wake up the first time at 11:30, I would be like, oh, fuck, man. But 1:30 would be more of my favorite when I'm choosing out of Hellacious Nights. 1:33 is ideal, but when the first time you get woke up, it's like 9:30. It's like, oh my God, this night is just getting started. Oh, Jesus. And so he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop. So I gave him some Stella's medicine, and I kept looking because I keep finding these blood spot things, but I cannot find anything that it's coming from. I have looked at them. I cannot figure it out at all. And he has his puking episodes, but he hasn't had them since I have found one little tiny thing of puke, but I don't even know if it was him or whatever. I think it was when I came back from downloading or something. So it's been even, for quite a few days. So, and so once I had done the treatment, the horse paste, because it said that it could be parasites that causes it. And then he didn't puke, and then there was that one little spot, and now he still hasn't puked. And so, but I was like, well, it could be puke, and maybe it just looks like blood color or something. It looks a lot, I think it's blood. And so, anyways, he's out here and he's itching, and then he starts chewing and then crying. And so I'm like, what is going on? So I'm getting my little flashlight and I'm trying to look. I can't see anything. I give him some medicine. I rub his ear. I smelled his ear, and it didn't smell like all funky. And his ears aren't hanging ears like uh, Archie's, which I got to get him more used to cleaning his ears. His ears are tiny, tiny. And he's got these long, floppy ones. Stella's are long, but I started cleaning her ears and she was little. Because her ears used to hang in her water dish. It was the cutest damn thing. And so she always had long ears. And so I've been cleaning her ears. Because when she was little, I took her in and she had an ear infection. So I don't know how many times it took me before I started because there was a one holistic kind of vet that I had who told me natural things to do and stuff, and to use this stuff and clean the ears and stuff. But not all of them do that, so anyways, but I was also told when they're puppies, you got to get them used to cutting their nails and cleaning their ears, because then it won't bother them as they get older. I think that's very true. And so, anyways, Max has these ears like that stick up. His ears are more like pug ears. Archie's ears are more like English Mastiff ears. And so, his ears aren't little short stick up ones, but Max's are. So it's like, I don't know what is bothering him. And I looked and they're kind of pink, but he kept scratching. And then he starts chewing on his hand, and like his hand's hurting. So I can't tell because it's like this keeps doing the same thing. And so I can't tell what is hurting. And then I'm thinking, I swear to God, he's done this before. And so I don't know if something starts bothering him and then he starts freaking out, or what the hell. It's so hard it's so much easier to raise even though puppies are hard, it's so much easier when you raise them from the time they're puppies. When they come in as little, like, orphan teenagers and stuff like that, they've got all these things, like they've had this other life ahead of you that's affected them. Life affects, and they're affected too by their life. And so they come in with, distinct characteristics and stuff. And, but I don't know, I don't know if he's super dramatic. I have no idea. And I can't see anything. I can't see anything on his paw. I don't know. But it definitely does start chewing on his hands. So I don't know. And he does have these long hands. So maybe he's got arthritis. But I give him the boron too. Maybe I'm going to start doing glucosamine. Maybe it is. Maybe he does have some weird genetic thing with his long ass. Because I'm telling you, it's trippy. His long ass fucking arms and fingers. And see, maybe he does have like arthritis, because you really can't see there's no injury or anything. So anyways, I just gave him some more medicine, because when I gave him usually if I give him one little thing of the CBD stuff, he conks out. I had given him 2 and nothing, and so I gave him a third one. Took him 3 to go to sleep. He still is kind of more snoozy, even though he's already been up, wanted to play, jumped in my chair, wouldn't get out. Then I took his sweater off, because I was like, maybe it just starts getting really itchy, and he just starts going like, ah. And I feel like, I don't know, I get a lot of weird things in my mind about him. Like, is he a plant? They send him to me. Is he really a robot dog? Is he watching me? Because he does watch me all the time. So I don't know. But spiritually, he came to me, and he does teach me a lot. He does reflect back to me. But yesterday I started thinking, is he me? That I came to teach me? Because sometimes it seems like it. So I don't know. Like the frustration isn't to frustrate you, it's to show you how easily you can be frustrated or how long it takes or whatever. There's more to the stuff than what we think. So anyways, last night the energy seemed so fucking intense, but I got him conked out, and Archie, and there was so much snoring. I think I had to get up another time. I don't remember. But I know when they just woke me up this time, I think it may have been my foot hurting that woke me up. And Stella, I don't know, me and her definitely have a psychic connection. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird. But so she woke up, and there's definitely a particular smell. And I think the vagina thing, when that was going, and I was getting worried, like, oh my God, maybe she's got cancer. And the, lady bits, lady parts or something up in there. And then I was like, because it had this particular smell and stuff. And now, though, somebody had said, well, if you use the horse paste, you got to take a thing because it needs to build the good bacteria back up or something. Like it has to reset its homeostasis or whatever. So get things back in balance with the pH and stuff. And so it could have been she was getting yeast infections. But this thing, this has been growing a while. I don't know. It started out, it was small. And I wish I would have known about the DSMO and the putting the horse paste on there from the start. But when that started, I didn't know. So it grew, and it kept growing, and I was giving her this stuff orally, but it kept growing. And then somebody told me about the the one stuff, so I started putting that on, and which I might put some more of that on. But using the horse paste, though, it did seem like it started receding and getting smaller. And so, but the thing is, with the CA, is that then it can be going inside, and I can feel a couple more like little tiny lumps inside. And so when I worked on the cancer floor, I just remember a guy with esophageal cancer, and the smell was, oh shit. And I had said something, and they said, oh, that's because CA smells. It has a smell. And when it's in their throat like that, and it's coming up, because they're foam at their mouth, like it's real, because there's problems with swallowing and stuff. And it has a particular smell. It was really bad. I think the smell is like us being eaten alive or something by these fucking bacteria bugs or whatever the hell it is, which is probably all created in a lab. So weird, too. It's like, because we're not really flesh and blood, and this doesn't really exist, but how real everything seems. So, my throat is scratchy. So, anyways, so it makes me nervous because I keep being down, or I don't know, the past couple of days, I was like, does that smell her breath? What is that smell? But it doesn't smell horrible. But then my mom also said, because she's so hungry all the time. I'm not even kidding. It's not like she's just hungry. It's like she's ravenous. Like I give her feel. I've never seen her eat so aggressive. And as soon as she finishes, she starts going, and she's looking for other people's to eat. Like it's crazy. I've never seen her be like this. And when I tell my mom, and she's like, oh, that happens if you got the CA. It's like, yeah, I know, but she doesn't have any other thing. Like that's one of the signs for when you are nurse, say, and somebody comes in and they say, oh, I just lost 50 pounds. I was eating regular. I'm eating all the time, but I just keep losing weight, and I don't know why. That's a sign, because the CA is taking all of the nutrient. It's growing, and so you're shrinking while it's growing. And so, but she doesn't look like that. And we haven't been on a walk in a week and a half or 2 weeks, which is not good for her. Like yesterday, she did go up and down the stairs twice, which is very intense. But it's so slippery. And then I went out and I did the whole thing, even though it's not all melted in the parts that are there, it's very icy, very slippery. It's like, there's no way I'm going out walking them. And I would walk them with no leash. Like I think Stella and Archie would do pretty good with that, but they could easily get distracted because we're in a new place. Even if I was at home and I was walking them with no leash, if somebody came out and said something, they'd take off and run up to them. So I've got to, because you just don't know what's coming all the time. So it's like I gotta have a leash on them. And but Max, he's like, freedom. He's ready to go. He's off out to the races. And I mean, he just goes out there and just sits. He will cry. He will sit there like this is the worst thing. He's in prison. And I know they're bored shitless in here. And they've made a break into Mom's house running around. And I said, they're so bored down there. They're the lower, what is that off Downton Abbey? The uppers and the lowers or something. They really don't like being the lowers. They go up there, this is where the action is. Running around and running up to all the dog. They're doing all this stuff. But it's wild. It's like, no way. And she's got a bunch of cats, but her dogs are mostly little. She's only got one that's kind of medium, kind of like Max's size, only much lower legs and fatter body, but they're like kind of eye to eye. But Max is more smaller body and longer limbs, so he's kind of smaller than her. Gia, she's just like, I don't know, she's not in a good mood lately, which that could be a sign that she's sick. Like everybody, I think we're all fighting stuff. And so, because that has been their thing, they've been poisonous for a long time. So we've all been like in this, and whatever they're doing is activating it. And so, yeah, the animals are sick, that everybody's sick. And but anyways, I can't go and just go out and walk them. And the last time I did get pulled down. I did fall down. And so, I don't know if it's going to even keep melting now, because it had said before it was going to rain, and then it was going to keep getting warmer. Like by next week, it's supposed to be in the mid 50s. And it keeps going up every day, like 37, and then 42, and then all of the days. So it should be melting, but today it's supposed to snow. And so I'll hopefully be warm enough it doesn't stick or anything, and it just turns into water and washes the rest of this away. But the parts that are, icy and stuff are out there. And so I need to go out and walk her because it's good for her. But it's like dangerous for me. I just am so excited to, get my new place, whatever it's going to be, wherever it's going to be. And yesterday, this always starts messing with my head because yesterday in the morning, and like every time I go on to TikTok or I walk upstairs, they're talking about the shenanigans, what Doge has looked into, what they've found, and all this stuff. So it's nonstop. It's just like, I keep seeing it. And so, and I keep seeing people talking about how, like, can you believe this? I'm so sick of this. I saw guys saying this is some bullshit. And for how much crimes they've shown, like, this is already the TREASON, and these people already need to meet the, because there's other people besides me who knows what the penalty is to the to that certain crime. And it's coming. The way I mean, that guy was so pissed because they haven't started doing it yet. And he's like, we'd already been from a tree. Why aren't they? And so the thing is like, you got to keep thinking about this group of people who don't see things right. And so it's like, you got to slowly keep, and you can't just tell them. You have to show them. Like, that makes so much sense. He kept saying that since 2020. And I have been like, that is so true. It's so true. You cannot tell anybody something. They have to see it for themselves. They have to work through it. So it's like they are exposing all this stuff. But you got to keep in mind, too, the goal is the awakening. So the goal is getting people to wake up, because that's when everything changes. And so but there's still an aftermath. Like, these crimes are being committed and there will be consequences. Like, that all goes with it. That's the changing of the energy and stuff. So that all goes with it. Keeps looking like there's something going across my face. So that's in the process. Like, that's given. It's going to happen. And that's like where you just got to rest assured this is coming. Just like the RV, just like the med beds and stuff like that. And, you know, for years and years, I just can't believe all these people just keep on, oh, it's coming, it's coming. Oh, yeah, the thing that was messing with my head too was because a lot of people say the same thing of the split with the 3D and the 5D, which to me, I can see as I'm living this life, the three-dimensional mind way that the people's mind works and their traps and the illusion and how it has control of them. And then when you are able to pull free, that it doesn't have the same control over you, and you start seeing things differently, and you start, I don't know, it's like, I think it's the positive time, like you start putting out this positive, and positive starts coming back to you, and it starts being magical. You start getting in the groove of life or something. So it's, to me, that it is a two kind of different ways of living, and most everybody I know is still a very three-dimensional mind, very trapped on all of the programming and stuff. And so in the splitting, see, to me, it's kind of like these two energies showing themselves, revealing themselves. But it's like the light pulling free, like I said, like it's pulling out of this dirty gum or something. So the light pulling free and beginning to reveal itself, so that the people who are in the 3D start looking at like, whoa, that's kind of cool. That's magical. How the hell did that happen? Whoa, you know, they start seeing the world as it really is. And it's like the certain group of people are the ones that are showing it, and it's like the people who have been healing and going in that direction, it's going to that direction, it's going to take off in a big golden path to people. And so that to me is the split, where and then people are gonna, because it's like these two different kind of ways of living are going to become very distinct. And at the same time, when the shelter of this reality is falling apart, and so there's not as much to hold on to, and so it starts falling apart, this other group starts going towards. So anyways, but it messes with my mind on the that kind of thing where they say it's going to split and stuff, because it's like, I don't know. That's just the way I see the split happening. But I feel like that there's some people who feel like it's very much the physical part of the split. Like the 5D people are going to go live in 5D world, and the 3D people are going to stay back in the 3D world, which maybe that is going to happen. That's why I said it messes with my mind, because there's so many different perspectives and different ways that people see it. But to me, how I see it is like, it's like the 5D group becomes the role models to the 3D group to help them to shift out of the three-dimensional. And it's going to be a hard, heavy road for a lot of people. And so not everybody makes it. Not everybody, and not everybody's soul even plans on making it. Like, there's going to be lots that are going to be leaving. And I think some of them, their role is to play to help somebody else with their healing, because they've got to go through the loss and the pain, and so it brings them into this painful place in their life that helps them to be able to heal things. So there's different roles and stuff. So anyways, that's how I see it. And the thing with the RV and the med beds and stuff like that, it's like, is this dark energy that just wants to keep us like feeling like, oh, this is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And so then we're the ones blocking it. Like, oh, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. Because the other people don't even know. And this is all shifts in consciousness to know the power over our own realities. And so, but remember, you're always going to understand it as you understand it. And it's like everybody's got to see what they got to see to have their understanding. It's just some people who are back further on this other thing in their understanding, you know, so they are still at the point of waking up. But you got to remember that the things that they're going to go through is that's what they're meant to go through. That is a part of their awakening. It's part of what it is that they need to heal and stuff. So it's going to fit where it's supposed to fit. And it all fits together. Like, it all makes sense to me. It all fits together. So all these people who are not awake yet are not supposed to be awake yet. And there's no a reason why you can't force them awake or tell them or explain it to them. And there's a reason why there's all this being revealed and stuff. And so, and it's so that they get the reflection back on themselves. Don't forget, they got to see, like, they're irrational and stuff, that they aren't paying, like, that they're supporting the wrong group. And they've got a lot of stuff to question for themselves and see for themselves. So, and they will. Like, they'll go through it. And, I don't know, there's going to be a lot. So you can't say, oh, they'll get through every single thing. I don't know. There'll be some people who will get through some different things, but whatever people get through is what they're supposed to go through. And so there is going to be, so when they are going slowly at this, so to me, it's like, they're showing these crimes and showing these crimes, but it's almost like we have to release something so that they can start showing the consequences. And so it's like, if they rushed into it, like, because these people have committed these crimes long ago, like, they've already, I think that they've already filled that's why they keep making it bigger and bigger and bigger, and they've spread to a new island and stuff. I think that they've been filling this thing all the time. Like, I don't know, the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary thing, I keep seeing clips about that.